Later we see that they were standing in the middle of the road and waiting for the next game to start. There, we hear the voice of Yusuke, which was of the cars. When the cars come near them, they come to know that these were the cars of the same hotel where they won the last game. Some people come out of those cars who were going to talk to them. But then suddenly the bullets go off there. Alice, Yusuke, and his friends go around and hide. They see that the bullets were coming from quite a distance. There, Alice sees a boy who was shot. He tries to save him. Yusuke was also with him. But when they save him and hide behind the car, they see that the boy was dead. There, the boy with white hair, whose name was Jizya, he looks up at the sky where the aircraft was flying, with the banner of the same face card. There, Yusuke points to Alice that we have to run away from here soon. But as soon as he sees the boy who was dead, but he was still breathing, he was still alive, they also take him with them. Then a man in black comes there, who was the king of this game. He was killing everyone there. Then a car comes and stops near Yusuke and Alice. There is no one else in that car but Alice's friend and that surgeon girl, who they met in the hotel. They quickly tell them to sit in the car. But Jizya was left there. They all sat in the car and left from there. There, Jizya's friend asks her, "What is the rule of this game that we do not know?" Here Alice tells her that each game has its own master and we have to defeat the master of each game. Only then we can win every game. After that, maybe we can go back to our world. He says that after winning so many cards, now we have to win all these face cards. All the 4 people were following their car. But there, the king of the rule comes and kills those 4 and takes their car and starts following Alice's car. As soon as the car comes near them, Alice's friend felt that her friend was also in that car. But that car comes to them in which the king of the rule was sitting. He starts shooting at them. There they were driving fast to save their lives. The king of the rule was also following them and was also shooting at them. Going ahead. Poor Alice and her friend's car collides with another car due to which they had an accident. Their car turns and they all fall down. They get out of the car and run, because the king of the rule was still following them. While running there, the surgeon girl gets away from them. Now Alice, UCG and her other 2 friends had come to an old building. Now the king of the rule had gone far away from them. Here UCG talks about finding the rest of their needs. UCG and Alice go to find some things of need, while their other 2 friends go to find the car, where they also liked a car. On the other side, Alice and UCG reach a market and start collecting things of need. At that time, she remembers some old memories when she used to be with her friends. Here, for a while, she forgot her life. UCG becomes a seller there and Alice, her customer, was enjoying while buying these 2 things. UCG tells Alice that she always wanted to work in a supermarket. Alice tells UCG that she wants to go back to her world and sit with her friends, eat noodles, read books, and have fun. But after going back, UCG was a little worried and started remembering her dad's old memories. She tells Alice that her old life was not good and she doesn't want to go back. UCG becomes sad while telling everything. On this, Alice hugged her and said, "Don't worry, I will always support you and live a good life." But UCG's heart didn't change with her words. She was still saying that, "I don't want to go back." When she was taking all the stuff on the way, she meets her other 2 friends who came with a new car and take them with them. Alice came to the same building and climbed on its roof and was looking at the planes flying towards the sky on which she was sitting. She said, "We have to play another game to save ourselves from this game." Because I know that the master of one game cannot come in another game. Meaning, no one can attack us by going to another game. She tells her friends about another game and tells them to go there. Their UCG was a little worried, but finally they all met and played this game with which they will win very soon. Now they had reached the place where they had to play the game. After reaching there, they get some bracelets, but to play that game, 5 people were needed. Then a boy comes behind who was a player of this game before. And he had won many games before. He had the 5th bracelet on his hand. He says that I am the 5th player. He tells him that you have to go with me. But everyone believes him because that player was not trustworthy. Everyone could not trust him. At that time, UCG ties the bracelet on her hand and says that we have no other way other than playing this game. And if we do not play this game, then the king of the kingdom will come and kill us. Everyone listens to him and wears the bracelet and enters the game. There they get a king's team. The king was naked. He said that if we have come to this world without clothes, then we will have to go in the same way. After that, the captain introduces Alice to his team. Alice asks him who you are. Here the captain tells him that we were also citizens like you. Here we are shown the old life of the captain where he was a singer and was singing with his team. We again see the present scene. He tells Alice that he is the master of this game and he has made the game. Before starting the game, he tells her all the rules. He tells that this game can be played in 3 ways. First battle, second item and third base. The game can be played in these 3 ways. There will be 2 teams in the game. The first team will be the challenger, which is Alice's team. And the second team will be the Bird King, in which me and all my team will be there. Both teams will be given 10,000 points in the game. In the end, the team with the highest number will win easily. The captain of the team will be given 10,000 points. And he can distribute this number to every player of his team. But the condition is that the number should be more than 100. He tells that in the first round, the opposite, i.e., the other team, will have to touch any player of their first team with which he will get his number, which means he will touch. And in this way, 2 people can also play together, with which the numbers will be given to them in half. In the second round, they will have to find some things which are kept in some boxes in the same place. And whoever team finds that box and presses the button on it, that team will win. And he will get points. And the last way is the base, in which both teams have been given a pool, which has a lot of numbers. But, remember one thing here. If any player of my team touches your pool, then we will get 10,000 numbers. And if you are playing this game very well and you touch this pool, then you will get an infinite number. And after that, if you touch any player of my team, then you will get all his numbers and he will be killed. Anyway, the game had started here. Alice gives some more numbers to the players of her team and gives some less numbers to some. These 2 teams were formed here. Yusuke makes his team with that boy who had won a lot of games in his game. And on the other side, Alice makes her team with Jizya's friend. Alice starts looking for those things in the boxes by pressing the button on it. He could get numbers. And he gets the numbers. Now there comes the captain of the Bird King. And he says, "You know, Alice, what is the first principle of winning? You have to win the trust of your players. While you gave someone more numbers and someone less numbers." Here he shakes hands with Captain Alice, from which he got to know how many numbers Alice had. Alice's team was playing very well. He comes back to the pool and touches her, from which his points and numbers had also increased. When the captain of the other team sees that Alice's team is winning, he makes a plan with his team. He was going to attack his base, where Alice's friend was already guarding there. When all these people attack Alice's base, then there, by mistake, Alice's friend who was guarding there, he touches the pool, from which he gets infinity points. He had his own number. But as soon as the other team's player comes to him, he touches him. That poor number was now found by Alice's friend, from which he had 0 score. And then a laser light comes and kills him. The other team's player was dead. Here still Alice and her team were very worried because they still had very few numbers. Alice tells her friends that we have to find those boxes separately and we will have to press the button to get the numbers. All these start looking for those boxes separately. Alice also finds a box here. But there was already a girl from the other team present, who presses that button and takes the number. Just then, the other team's captain also came there. He says, "Alice, my children, this is not a game of children. This is a game of very smart people. If you are really smart, then show me your smartness." Alice's team had very few numbers. That's why they lost to the other team. In the next round, Alice plans with her friends that we will have to attack the captain's base and only then we can get the numbers. All these people were now ready to attack his base. But this plan also failed for them. When they were about to touch his pole, very cleverly, the captain's team stopped them. They were very sad now because they lost this round too. And now no one could save them from dying. Now all these poor people were very sad and separated and waiting for this time to end. But Yusuke still did not give up. She starts looking for those boxes from which she got the numbers, and now Alice's team had a lot of numbers. From the other team she had only 500 numbers less. Yusuke comes back and sees the same boy who later joined their team. He was vomiting blood. That boy catches Yusuke. He was hitting him and trying to make him unconscious. Because, as we saw in the beginning, everyone was not trusting him. But still Yusuke trusted him. But now he was trying to misbehave with Yusuke too. But then Alice came there, who saves Yusuke from him and now picks him up and brings him to the base. After which Alice goes to the captain of the other team and says that my team has lost. Now we are all going to die. So my last wish is that I want to shake hands with you. The captain says that the game is 3 minutes to end, and if I shake hands with you, all your numbers will come to me. Alice says that I have learned a lot from you, but I don't have that much time, my friend, so that I can correct my mistakes. And he also apologizes to her. But then the captain comes and shakes hands with Alice himself. And there was a big twist in the story. When the captain shook hands with Alice, all her numbers came to Alice. The captain was also very surprised by this. Actually, when Alice went to find her friend who was protecting her base, he was trying to separate his hand because he wanted to take off the bracelet. He didn't want to die. His friend said that I have a plan. He took off his bracelet and gave it to Alice, which doubled Alice's numbers. And as soon as Alice shook hands with the captain, all her numbers came to Alice. The captain was very surprised to hear all this. But he had no regret of dying. But he also won and lost a lot of games. After that, he reached here. But Alice didn't want the captain to die now. But the rules of this game were the same. Then a laser light comes and kills the captain and all his other players. On the other hand, Alice's friend, who took off the bracelet and gave it to Alice, his hand was injured and his blood flowed a lot, because of which he also dies. But he saved all his other friends. The principle of this game was that there is a slave of the heart among all of them, whom they had to catch. And if he is caught, then all of them will be saved. The time starts. They were given 2 hours. Here they had to tell the mark in their band correctly. And if that symbol mark is not told correctly, then the band around their necks will burst, after which that person will die. Everyone makes their own team, and every person was helping the player of their team. Here in this game, the boy with white hair, whose name was Chizia, was also there. Here he also had a friend. He tells him the correct mark in his band, because after every round those marks used to change in his band. There was also a very good thing to eat and drink. As the game was moving forward, people were dying because they were telling each other the wrong mark. Because they felt that if the slave of the heart was killed, then his life would be saved. There were a total of 20 players. Gradually everyone was dying. Now only 6 players were left. And these were the same people who were still trusting each other. But Chizia's friend was killed because he tells him that now I can't play anymore. I am tired and do not tell my mark. Due to which the band around his neck bursts, and he was killed there. Chizia was now alone, and he could not trust anyone. Now how will he know who the slave of the heart is, who was among them? After which Chizia was asking help from everyone there because his player was dead. And now he goes to a girl where he tells her that I know the one who is your player with you. He is a killer. He killed many girls in the last game. And if you want, you can leave him and become my player. We can play together. You tell me. The card in his hand. I will tell you. He tells the boy the order card in his band. But that boy did not tell him anything and left from there. On the other side there was a couple from whom the boy was telling his wife. They were talking about the same killer about whom Chizia had told that boy. They say that he is a very dangerous killer. And he is the slave of the heart. Chizia now gets another girl. He was also trying to talk to her. But she also does not talk to him. And leaves from there. All these people came to their jail. Here everyone is asked about the card. That which sign card is present in their band. Here Chizia uses his brain a lot. No one told him anything. He finds out that there is a diamond sign in his band. And he also tells the truth. And he also escapes by telling. In the end, 3 boys came out. But that girl was killed, who did not listen to Chizia. Here we find out that the slave of the heart was none other than the girl's companion who had died, who did not listen to Chizia. And both of them had done a lot of planning, that both of them used to talk to each other on the pretext of things. But in the end, the poor girl's companion also cheated her. He told her the wrong card sign in her band, because of which she was killed. They got the slave of the heart. They locked Chizia in a jail. After which Chizia was also freed from this jail. He won this game. At the same time, we are shown recording a man who was telling that it has been 23 days, many people have been killed. Some have disappeared. The next day, Chizia's friend tells UCG that I am going to find Chizia and Sergeant Girl, Because the more people in our team, the easier it will be for us to find Chizia. Now UCG and Alice go to the other side where they meet a lot of people who were dead. There is a man who was a little alive. He calls them a film and dies. Now they go inside that van which had a recording. When they started the recording, the same man had recorded his film which was dead, in which he was telling that it has been 23 days. Many people have been killed. And this world was not at all that anyone can live here. There was a girl there who knew what kind of world this is and why all this is happening. Here. That girl now tells that I was unconscious. A hole was made in my head. But as soon as I came to my senses, this girl was telling all this. Then the king of the order came there and killed that girl. And the recording ends here. When they come out of the van, the king of the order came there too. He was attacking them here too. Kusaki and Alice were running away from his attack, and while running they separate. Alice was unconscious there too. But someone saves Alice then. As soon as Alice comes to her senses, a girl was sitting in front of her, who tells her that no one has saved you but Agony has saved you. And here we come to know that Agony was still alive. Agony tells that we have to deceive the king of the order and kill him. And we are planning for this. Hear the girl who was with Agony. We are told about the old life of that girl. She was a very famous girl in the school. One day, she sees something in the sky. After that, she finds herself in a stadium. Suddenly a game started. There. Water was falling on everyone. Everyone was killed there. But this girl was saved. Her leg was pierced. She was rushed to a hospital. There was no one there except a doctor who was saying that you will have to cut your leg, and if you don't do this, then you will die. But even before this, that doctor makes her believe a lot of things. She wanted to live in any condition. That's why she agrees to everything the doctor says. She was telling all these things to Alice. On the other side of the UC, which was lost in the jungle, she reaches a place where she was looking for some food. There she does not get anything to eat. But she sees a small child and a girl. That child was alone there. And tonight, his visa was also about to end. On the other side, Agony's team who were preparing to catch the king of the order. They use Alice as his prey. Suddenly the king of the order came there and was about to shoot Alice. But then Agony comes there, who kills the king of the order with bullets. But the king of the order does not die so easily because he was wearing a bulletproof jacket. He was not going to die so easily. There is a very powerful firing between them. They were shooting each other, and during this firing, Agony was also very much injured. Alice, who jumps into the water to save herself. Their Agony was saved by that girl who was supporting her. The next day, when Alice comes out of the water, she was feeling very hungry. She starts roaming around in the city. She did not get anything to eat. But she finds rotten dead bodies in the cars. The food lying there was also rotting. The whole city was ruined. Games were going on everywhere. Looking at them, it seemed as if they had been playing games here for years. On the other side, Usagi also brings her child to the game because her visa was about to expire. He is very happy to see Alice and Usagi there. Alice tells Usagi that I already knew that you will meet me here because this is a physical game and you like physical activity very much. Now the game starts here. In the first team of the game, there was a girl and 4 players with her. In the rest of the team, there were Alice, Usagi, and 16 people with them. Here the girl was called Begum. The girl Begum's team was red and the challenger, which was Alice and Usagi's team, was blue. This game was such that the team with more people will win the game, and they had to touch the mark on their back and make those players in their team. The game had now started. Begum was playing very well in the beginning. There were 16 rounds in this game. The people of Alice and Usagi's team were called the people of Begum's team. If you want to stay alive, then come quietly to Begum's team. We did the same. Look, we are alive today. There were a total of 17 people in Begum's team, while there were only 3 people left in Alice and Usagi's team. The girl tells her player that now I want that boy whose name is Alice. I think he is like me. I want to keep him in my team now. Now all the people of her team were together. There was a very strong fight between Usagi and Begum. Usagi had not given up yet. She was telling all the players that if you win, then you can also go back to your world. You will have to support us. We can't win this game at all without you. Some people had agreed to what Usagi said. They put their hands on the back of the other players of their team and bring them to their side. All the people came to Alice's team. Begum was left alone in her team. Wanting, Alice asks Begum that after winning all the games, can we go back to our world? Begum says, you will know that only when you win all the games. After that, a laser light falls on Begum and she is killed there. After that, Usagi and Alice go to an old building where the building was broken, but there was hot water there. She had not bathed for many days, so she goes into the water and starts bathing. There she was happy to see very big elephants, because after a long time she had seen such big elephants in front of her eyes. On the other side, we are shown Chizia, which had come in a new game. This game was of a king. There were a total of 5 people in the game, and the king was also playing with them in the game. Everyone had to choose a number between 0 to 100. He had to take it. And all the numbers these people will select for themselves, all of them will be added up and multiplied by 0.8. They will be zapped. And whatever result comes, that number will be mixed with the rest of the number of the player. Whoever has a number around that number will win, and the rest will lose, and their 1 point will be minus. The total of the game will be 10 rounds, and whatever the player's minus 10 is, a dangerous chemical will be put on it and he will be killed. The king won in the first round of the game. The rest of the people were thinking, how can they win this game? 2 of these players had lost. The same dangerous chemical is put on them and they are killed. In the end, only Chizia, a girl, and the king were left. Now that girl had chosen the wrong number by mistake, with which she is killed. The same dangerous chemical is also put on her. Chizia had told the right number, because of which he wins here. Here the king was remembering his old life. He had done a lot of wrong things in his old life. Thinking this, he was feeling ashamed. Because of this, he himself lost and makes Chizia win. The winner of the game had become Chizia. He comes out safely. On the other hand, Chizia's friend had found the surgeon girl. They both play a game together. And after winning the game, they both came out safely. Now in the end, the king of the order and the queen of the order, these 2 games were left. In this game, all the remaining players who had won the last game now face each other. Here the same boy had also come. The one who had met him in the game earlier, he was vomiting blood. He was about to die. That's why he tells everyone here that I will die, but before dying I will not die. And by saying this, he starts shooting at the UCG. But then Chizia came in between them. Who gets shot? Alice had killed that boy. But then the king of the order came there. Who was killing everyone? The king of the order was taking off his mask and firing at everyone. He was killing them. Everyone was running here and there. Agony and his companion had also come here. All of them together now planned to kill the king of the order. There, Chizia's friend gives her a small bomb made by Chizia. Alice says that this is very small. Nothing can be done with this. All of them now plan. They will go to the storeroom and collect a lot of gas. After that, the rest of the people will bring the king of the order to the store, due to which there will be a big blast. These people will kill him. The king of the order was about to fire bullets at Agony. All the bullets go through her. Seeing this, Agony gets very angry. And he kills the king of the order a lot. The king of the order also kills Sargent's daughter. He was also going to kill Yusuke. Then Chizia's friend comes there, who knew judo and karate, and kills her a lot. But he also kills that girl with a knife. Everyone was very injured. Then Alice comes there, who wanted to take the king of the order back to the same storeroom where he had collected a lot of gas. The king of the order was very clever. He knew it. That's why he doesn't open the door of the storeroom. Then Agony comes there, who pushed him inside and tells Alice to blast the bomb. But before that, he would have blasted the bomb. He had also brought Agony with him safely. After which there is a big explosion. The king of the order was now dead. Agony now sends Alice to play the last game and says that you will have to win that game at any cost. Alice also got Yusuke. He takes her with him and goes to a very big building, where the queen of the order was waiting for them. She says, "What kind of game is this? It doesn't matter whether you win or lose it. But you have to play this game till the end. There will be a ball here. And you will have to put that ball in a hole with the help of a rod." The game starts with them. The first round was won by the queen of the order. The second round is won by Alice. The queen of the order says that why don't we sit first and have tea before the third round, because this is also a part of this game. He asks, "Can we go back to our world after this last game is over?" The queen of the order says that I should tell you the truth, but it should not be that after hearing the truth you regret it. Alice says, "What do you mean?" She says that in the future, the rich and the poor, everything will end. There will be no rich and no poor. She says, "I am telling you the time. After 1,000 years. The world you have come from, there is going to be a lot of progress. There will be a cure for cancer. After 100 years we will start enjoying the weather. After 200 years, the memory of humans can also be put in the brain. And after 300 years, humans will not be able to die. Normally, their life will be longer. And after the next 500 years, there will be nothing like death. We can live as long as we want." She says that you are sleeping in your real world in a very deep sleep. You are playing this game in your dreams. You don't remember